Guys, we're gonna be watching a video on YouTube. How strong is Gohan in Dragon Ball Super?
Hey guys, it's Mike here, and welcome to another video we're bringing you here today, in which we're going to be talking about Dragon Ball Super, and more specifically a question that all of you have been asking about for a very long time now, and that is, how strong is Gohan right now and throughout the course of Dragon Ball Super? And so we're going to be talking about Dragon Ball Super, the show. So when we talk about, say, Resurrection F, we're going to be talking about that arc. We're not going to be talking about the movie, which makes no sense whatsoever, so we can never figure that out. We're talking about the show, because the show is basically the canon right now anyway. But before we get into this subject, I'm going to introduce my two guests for today. First off, from the land of old age and retirement homes, his name is...
Yes, guys, it is Josh from Dragon Ball Nation. What's going on?
And also, I have with me MJ from Geeklist TV.
What's up, everyone? MJ here, or you just call me the Geek Lister.
Today, we're basically going to be answering that question for all of you because everyone keeps asking me, oh, Gohan is really weak in Dragon Ball Super right now, isn't he? He's clearly weaker than he was as a kid. No, you're wrong, and we're going to prove why. So, first off, do you think we should start in Super in the beginning, or do you think we should just skip to Resurrection F? Because in the beginning of Super, he's still in Mystic.
You can put that one just where you saw him in Battle of Gods, in my mind, are pretty similar.
Yeah.
I'd say just skip to the Resurrection F arc. Again, just so people are double clear on this, we're not talking about the movie because the movie's power scaling and all the dialogue makes zero sense. They're pretty much making Piccolo, look like someone that's around Zarbon, essentially.
Yeah, so when we talk about Super, we're going to just skip to Resurrection F because, he's probably the same as strength the Mystic Gohan was in the beginning. And you can go over to my How Strong Was Gotenks video, in which I described how strong Gotenks is, how strong Super Buu was, and how strong Mystic Gohan or Ultimate Gohan is in relation to them. But let's start off with the Resurrection of F arc, and I'll throw it over to Josh first. How strong do you think he was in Resurrection F?
Well, in Super, I don't want to give away everything, because I know we all have our things to say, but we were talking off air, and I think it's pretty easy to say he could be easily around where he was in the Buu Saga, if not a little bit weaker than that. I don't see him being stronger necessarily, but there's also some contradicting elements that I know MJ probably will bring up later, or Mike, one of you two, but I feel like the Super Saiyan, me and Mike were talking about this before, in different points in time, that the Super Saiyan that he uses might actually unlock the quote-unquote mystic or hidden potential that he once had. They might fully bring that out. Upon that, we see him power up to that extreme measure without Super Saiyan, but with that mysterious, quote-unquote mystical-looking aura. It's a very different sparkly aura when he powered up to let, so Goku could sense his key to his transmission.
Yes.
I would say it's safe to say that Gohan that, passed out like a little girl at that point would have definitely been the strongest he'd ever been. I think it's implied to be that. I know you guys have your own points to make that I can bounce off of later.
Yeah, that definitely seems very reasonable, because that's what I assume too. I assume that he still pretty much has mystic power left over in his base, because how the hell else could he even begin to compete with Piccolo? And they never said Piccolo got weaker, even in the movie, which doesn't make any sense, but in the series, they never said Piccolo got weaker. He trains all the time, so it only makes sense that he would have gotten stronger. In the Buu Saga, they said in the anime that he was stronger than ever, so I think it's possible that he might be around, even Super Saiyan 2 Gohan at this point, at least Teen Gohan maybe, because he's been training for so many years since the Cell Saga. But MJ, you have your own particular theory, which definitely is very convincing and is very interesting. How strong do you think he was, and what's your theory and evidence to back it up?
I believe he could be stronger. Now, I'm not saying, he was 2 times stronger, for that matter, but I do believe he was stronger than Tagoma or get Tagoma's body. But my theory starts from the very beginning when Tagoma's introduced as Frieza's training partner, and how when he powers up. When he powers up, Gohan states he's hiding power comparable to his best or prime, whichever version you read the subs on, and that would indicate that Tagoma is around Mystic Gohan, I would assume, unless he was talking about his best now. Then, I don't know, but I think that's a pretty good argument right there. And the fact that Tagoma decimates Piccolo, which we pretty much all agree on that Piccolo would be around SSJ2 Teen Gohan. He decimates him, tears his arm off with ease, and Piccolo needs a Senzu Bean after 1 or 2 shots. So it's like,
yeah, and base Gohan is fighting him, and base Gohan seems stronger than Piccolo. I mean, look at how he just wrecked Sashimi. So
yeah.
But I mean, also to kind of elaborate further on that too, Gohan beats him and gets put down by Frieza in his first form. But Gohan had overpowered this guy, and when you think about it, Gohan obviously wasn't going to be talking about his Teen Gohan state because we all know he was significantly more powerful as Mystic Gohan. But even further, when Captain Ginyu took over to Goma's body, they specifically say that his power is even higher than it was before. So somehow, even though it doesn't make any sense, Captain Ginyu seemed to be able to activate Tagoma's powers to levels even higher than before, and Gohan still knocked him down and beat him. So it makes sense, and it's arguable to suggest that he was stronger than Mystic Gohan, or at least around there, and Gohan could have potentially, with his Super Saiyan, pushing beyond his limits, which is why he can't hold it for too long, able to defeat someone who is stronger than even he was in the past in quote-unquote his peak or prime.
And the weird thing that we were talking about off air is that he says, oh, you know, he's comparable to how I was in my prime, and now Ginyu makes him even stronger. If Gohan's prime, if he can beat the Ginyu,
Mommy, Dad going to church?
Gohan's prime will be his current self.
Yeah.
And one thing, we talked about Gohan's base being stronger than Piccolo. We were saying off air is like comparable to like perfect.
That's a finished. Let's watch something new. So I'll come back later. So peace.